Hello lovelies, Lorien here with Wellington Witch, bringing you your June reading for 2021. This is your pick a card. I will be doing probably these signs in bunches, so water, fire, air and earth, but I just wanted to see if there was any particular messages coming through on these particular pick a cards. So as you can see, there are 3 piles here. These are the tarot decks I'll be using, and I'll be using the cards within each section as a normal shuffle. So I haven't pre-shuffled anything, I've just cleansed the cards with some Palo Santo, and they have been charging with these crystals on top. So absolutely feel free to skip ahead and choose the particular pile that you feel drawn to, either from the backs of the decks or from the crystals on top. If you'd like to learn more about the crystals, then just wait a second and I'll go into each one for you. So the first one, we have orange calcite. The second one is Sera crystal. It's a beautiful crystal point. And the third is rose quartz. It's quite a grey day, so you might not be able to see the vibrancy of these crystals in particular, but orange calcite is very much to do with the solar plexus, and it can also be incorporated with the sacral too, about confidence, going after what you want, and self-belief. With the Sera crystal, it's just about acceptance. It's like whatever will be, and it allows a healing to take place. And the rose quartz, of course, is self-love, having that kind of healing energy and just a really calm, soothing peace to come across. So if you'd like to take a moment to pause the video, see which one you're drawn to more, you can absolutely do so. You can skip right ahead. You can choose more than one if you so wish. But in the meantime, let's get on into the first reading. Okie dokie, group 1 with the beautiful orange calcite. Let's have a look and see what's going on for you guys in June. So you would have chosen this amazing crystal. Let's pop him over there. Let's just have a look and see what's coming through for you. So what does pile 1 have coming through for them in June? Any messages for my pile 1s in June? Strong Gemini vibes from these. Alright, so let's see. We have the 4 of Pentacles, the 4 of Cups. So 2 of 4s to start with. That's already quite interesting. I feel as though there's going to be kind of a seesaw energy already, because we have one which is about stability and the other which is about being a bit bored, but it is being bored with yourself. So I'm wondering whether you're going to try and do something a little bit out of the box, so to speak. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay, then we have the Chariot. Oops, we have, the 9 of Pentacles. I love that card so much. One of my favourite cards in the absolute deck. Okay, and then we have King of Wands, Queen of Swords, the 7 of Pentacles, and we have the King of Cups. Alrighty, let's see what's going on here for you. I will also be drawing a moon card just to see what kind of moon phase may be important for you guys over the next month as well. Again, it does feel a little bit like erring on the side of being practical. You, on the one hand, you want stability, you want that security. On the other hand, being stable and secure feels like it's boring for some of you. It just feels like it's run-of-the-mill. Being sensible is just being a little bit crap now. And it just feels like you're trying to make a sort of peace with yourself here. I do get the impression from these two that these could be influences in your life, or it could be the 2 archetypes or personalities, not personalities, the methods that you use through the month. Could be flipping between these 2 elements, shall we say. So part of you may be like, I just want to go out there, I want to explore, I want to get to know people, I want to have this very strong connection with people. I want to build on my connections. And the other half of you, maybe, well, I have to be sensible about this. I have to be, you know, think on my feet here. I need to know what I'm doing. I need to judge everything before I leap. That kind of thing is coming through to me here. And as I say, I don't necessarily do the cards as the traditional meaning. It's just how they're coming through here for me. So if you're expecting like this card means this and this is what, that's not what you're going to get here. This is me being told through the cards what's actually happening for you in June, just because sometimes readers are different. Well, all readers are different really, but I really do go from intuitive messages that the cards are giving me, and right now it's like you're not happy with something in your life and you're wanting to change it in June. Now we do have an eclipse in 2 days as of me recording this video, and this is going to be in Sagittarius, so there's plenty of astrology videos about Sagittarius. I would say look at Gregory Scott's video about the eclipse in Sagittarius, simply because that's a wealth of information and he's really good. If I remember, I will link it below. But it's got a lot of information about finding your true north, finding your happiness, finding your place. And I feel that this is it for you. I feel like June is, especially with the Chariot here, I feel like this is coming through to say we want to be moving forwards in a particular path, but I don't know what to choose from. The Seven of Pentacles is about that kind of profit, the investment. You've put a lot of effort into something, or you may not have actually seen enough return on that, but at the same time I do feel that this is something, whichever way you choose, whichever direction you decide to go, you're going to have to put a lot of more investment in there as well, and you're going to have to trust your vision on this too. It's kind of like within here, she's picking the grapes and she's trying to judge the grapes. Maybe she's getting the fruits of her labour almost, but at the same time it's going to take a few more stages to produce wine. It's going to take a little bit of time before that can go to here. So even though you have started the journey with the grapes and they're coming to fruition now and they're being very good and they're showing their fruit, there is still a little bit of time to go before you get to the final destination. But you may still be in a bit of a quandary as to which direction you want to go and which destination you finally end up at. For some reason, I'm getting this kind of contemplation as to, I've had an idea recently and I'm not sure how to pursue that. And that is coming through very strongly to me, like you've had an idea, you're not quite sure how to implement that. Look at what you've achieved so far and see the skills that you have achieved through doing this kind of process, and how your skills have evolved, if there's anything new that you've added to your bow, and then see if that can help you on your way. Because for me, I'm looking at these cards thinking there's something that's not quite balanced here. I do feel that you round off the end of the month. Maybe this is all to do with Mercury retrograde, bringing questions to light, bringing a life review, bringing some sort of questioning to yourself. This feeling of, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with my life. I'm not entirely sure. There's something that's bothering me. And Mercury retrograde, I feel, is probably going to bring more of that information to you, bring more of that kind of contemplation, understanding of your inner self and your inner psyche. Spend time meditating if you can. You could decide as well to kind of cut things off and kind of just go snip, snip, and just do a little bit of life pruning, because it's almost like you're doing a reboot of your house, really. Like, how to say, not a spring cleaning, it's more of just a pruning, just like keeping it in order. So if there's anyone that has invaded your space, anyone who's pushed your boundaries, if there's anything that you feel is just dragging you down, now's the time to prune that. I feel like this is what the Queen of Swords is here. You may come across as cold to the people that you are having to reduce time with, but it's reserving your strength for doing this and figuring out how you can go to the next stage. It's not being negative against them. It's just preserving something for you. And if they don't understand that, I think that's kind of the reason why you're actually having to prune them back a little bit. The King of Wands here, though, especially with the Four of Pentacles, is to do with having that ability to be very visionary, to be an entrepreneur, to see your own unique path, but laying it on a very strong foundation. And this could be a little bit of insecurity as well, like you feel like you have to protect what you've already got. So how could you possibly be this jet-setting person who's going to set the world alight? Honestly, I feel that there is a balance to come. And this is, again, what you're going to figure out here. The Nine of Pentacles with the King of Cups brings so much emotional balance. So I think once Mercury retrograde has kind of wrapped up, you're still going to have some stray threads to deal with. But I do honestly feel here, within this kind of area, you're going to feel so much better for having done it. 9 is almost there. You're almost there. You have gratitude for how far you've come. You may have time to yourself. You have time to kind of just relax. There's a feeling of just being contented. And especially here with the King, he's very emotionally balanced. He's understanding. You know, he could be a water sign or dealing with a water sign as well. But there's just a feeling of, I am content in my decision. And I feel this in itself is an achievement. You've decided something, you feel very strong about that decision, and that is going to be taking you to the next stage even before you implement the first steps. So you could be feeling like, I'm manifesting this coming through. That's the feeling that I've got for you at this point in time, is that you're manifesting it before you even begin to take the course, book the classes, send that email, meditate on it. You know, there's going to be something that you're doing that starts the process before you even physically begin to do it. Now I'm just going to take some moon cards here just to see what's coming up for you. Let's just see what group 1 is coming through. You want it to come through. Ooh, look who's on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. Well, as I say, in 2 days we have the full moon eclipse in Sagittarius. So this basically is saying, shoot for that shot. Shoot that shot. Go for it. If you can align, if this month, okay, they're just saying this month is all about aiming. Find the target that you want to go to. Then you can set about aiming. Then you can set about lining the shot. You know, like you aim and then you line it and then you pull that back the bow and then you shoot your shot. I think this is not quite shooting the shot yet, but you're aiming, you're finding that line of sight, you're getting to grips with which direction you're wanting to head with this particular card here. I'm just going to get another one. Okay, there's one that's really, or 2. Okay, the answers you need are coming, which is good, because as I say, full moon in Gemini, this could actually be, this is in June, so there we go. Is it in June? No, excuse me, this is not in June. The new moon is in June, so we've kind of got 2 little swapsies here. The answers you need are coming, so the questions that you ask yourself at the beginning of the month, where do I want to aim, you will be answered. And then personal issue reaches resolution. Again, I feel like this is connected very much to the King of Cups, the Cancerian energy here. So, okay, let me just do it this way. You can't quite see that there, but you can get the gist of it. So, you start by wondering where to aim. This is a very Sagittarius energy card. Wondering where to go in the world, wondering where your place is. The answers you need are coming because you're going to work on them. You're going to, in the middle of the month, review. See how you can maneuver the situation. See how you can possibly make these grapes into wine. See how you can revise things, review things, go forwards on it. And then, after the fact, once you've made your decisions, once you've started to feel like you're going in the right direction, you will find it reaches a resolution and you can continue further than the issue that you've already been juggling with. You can go to that next stage now. which I think is brilliant, because for me, looking at this, it's something that I feel is going to kind of break through a dam that may have been preventing you from going forwards for quite a while. So fingers crossed that things go well for you. If you'd like a reading from me, all the information is down below as to how to get in contact. And also, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. If you like the content that I'm creating, I would love to hear from you as well. But in the meantime, blessed be, take care of yourself and each other, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon. Have a very happy June. Hello, beautifuls. Welcome to your second, or your group 2. So this is a Sera Point. This is a great healing stone. It kind of just allows you to accept the flow of things, how they're going and stuff like that. And I haven't worked with it a lot lately because it's a relatively new crystal to my collection, but I just get such a great vibe from it, and it can also help you against kind of electromagnetic disturbances, shall we say. So it's a really, all in all, a great crystal to have, and I hadn't even heard of it until recently, so I do recommend looking into this stone if you have an interest in anything that I've mentioned with it. Okay, so let's have a look at what we're going to see for group 2 in June. What's coming up for group 2 in June? If you can hear workmen, by the way, I do apologise. They're just moving down the street, doing something outside. Alright. Okay, so we have positive movement forward. Good. This is what we like. And then we have disruption. Okay, but it's in reverse, so that's okay. And then we have suffering in silence in reverse, which is also very good. I always forget these cards are much bigger than you think. Okay, and then we have temptation. Just see what I'm getting from these first of all. Okay. So we have 2. Well, no, sorry, that's 9. And yeah, I'm getting the impression here that there's something that you are trying to come to grips with. Maybe a personal life, family invasion. Honestly, that's the feeling that I'm getting. You have the opportunity to move forwards this month. It just feels like there's a kind of a family invasion. You want your time alone. You want something. I just feel like some of you just want time alone. You want time to be, to think, to kind of contemplate your navel sort of thing. But there's just too much going on here. And there's a temptation here, I feel, to give in to the despair. And it could be self-comfort issues, like eating too much ice cream that makes you sick in the end, or not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, leaving a project till last minute just because you can't be bothered, and therefore doing a very lackadaisical job of it. It could be that you're just feeling very run down, and there's symptoms around you that just feels like you are being quite pressured here. Like maybe neck issues, shoulder issues, back issues, because that's a symptom of kind of feeling like the weight of the world's on your shoulders, so to speak. I do feel that there's still a good reason to be positive here. The suffering silence in reverse could mean that you do have support, but you can't quite see it. And you can't maybe see it because there's too many people chattering around you, or there's too many distractions, or there's too many things that are requiring your attention in June, and you can't possibly drop the ball on any of them. And there's this kind of just disruption, this like, oh, but it's an internal disruption. It's an internal thing. And I feel like you just want to be happy. You want to be continuing to go forward, but there's just too many little things that require your attention. And again, it could be family requirements, you have a date every weekend, you have to go to someone's wedding, someone's christening, someone's moving house, someone's doing this, and you're always required to be there for other people. But there's something that's asking you to be there for yourself too. That's kind of what's coming forwards here. Intuition is going to be very key for you. And again, sacrifice in reverse. It's kind of like you don't have to make these sacrifices. And it can be hard to hear that sometimes. You don't have to make these sacrifices. And you certainly don't have to make them in order to be seen as worthy or loved or appreciated. Because at the end of the day, it's just going to do you worse than... How do I put it? It's going to do you worse than if you were to kind of scale back a little bit. Because you have hope here. That's a really good card. You have hope. You have a strong connection. I feel... You have a lot of major arcanas as well, and I just get the impression from these that they are asking you to look inwards whenever you feel kind of stressed or obliged to do things for other people, or that you're trying too hard to people please, and just to kind of keep the peace, while you've nominated yourself as peacekeeper. Now, as far as I can see as to what's coming through, I do feel that you're going to have this connection. Yeah, there we go. You're going to have this connection to your inner self. I want to go on this journey, I want to go through, but there's too many of this nitpicky stuff. I do feel that you're going to have somebody's hand extended to you and reach out to you. Maybe they notice that you're struggling, maybe they don't even notice it, but they feel that you need a hand. You know, like that, I want to reach out to that person, or I want to see how that person is. It just feels like this is a very strong, how are you? Here's my hand, here's help, here's some guidance. I also feel like you've been talking, or may have wanted to talk to somebody who has passed over. And this is kind of saying that they are already guiding you. They're already there. Maybe previously you asked them to look out for you. Maybe previously you said, can you take care of my career? Can you take care of something? This is kind of where you have to realign with what you were doing before and go into that feeling of, I want to talk to guide, spirit, whoever it is you have wanted to communicate with. I'm not saying go to a medium or anything, because you don't have to do that. All you have to do is connect with your intuition and see if you can clear your mind enough through all the disruption to receive the messages that they want to give. Because there's light here. There is light to sort of distract from the temptation, from the darkness here. I mean, even in this card, he's turning away from the light. She's here saying, come on. Come, not literally go to the light, but saying, come on, go to the positive sides. Release yourself from this feeling of obligation, of stress. I know it's easier said than done, honestly. But there's just something that feels like it's a connection for you. You have hope and light, which is two of the most positive cards. You know, you have the star here, which is inspiration, generosity, a serenity of being, followed by the sun, really, which is enlightenment and greatness and vitality and assurance. It's kind of saying you don't have to suffer in silence. For some of you, it may feel like you don't have much hope of June being very good at all. But I see here that there is positivity. There's always going to be a balance, and there's always going to be a feeling of like, oh, do I want to go over that way? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I'll just sit down. I can't be bothered. And I understand that. I do. A lot of the times I go, oh, I can't be bothered. Just because it's so tiring to try and do everything you want to do. But I think here is moderation. Meditate if you can. Do something that is for you this month. Because I honestly feel that June has a lot of hidden surprises, hidden from me, that they want to give to you. There's something that is meant for you to hear. There's something that is meant for your own personal guides, for you to hear and experience and see and learn and love and feel. There's something that they want you to feel assertive about. There's something here that they want you to feel like you just know that it's going to be okay. You just know that it's going to be coming through with a very positive kind of release. You know, there's something that feels very much like you don't have to suffer in silence. You don't have to feel disrupted, or that you're making all the sacrifices that nobody's asking you to do, but you just feel like you have to. They're just trying to say, reduce that. Know that things are going to be okay. Don't allow anxiety or the temptation of just being, to overwhelm you. Look at the positive light here. Look at the good light, the good things. Because I honestly believe that this is something that you may struggle with in the middle of June, but you come out on the other side turning away from the distractions, the stress, and you go, you know what, I'm focusing on the positives now. It's kind of like a veil is lifted and you can finally see the colours of the world, that kind of thing. Let's have a look at the moon cards. Let's see what's coming through. Okay, so yeah, meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So again, it's kind of like understanding that you are in a place where it could be very overwhelming and mentally draining and emotionally draining. Just meditate. Center yourself. I think we have something like 60,000 thoughts a day. With meditation, it really helps eliminate the invasive ones and focus on the calmness so your brain can function properly and more efficiently. And then we're going to get another one just to see. And I do honestly feel that meditation will connect you better to the people that you want to get in contact with, to the guidance that you want to receive. So here's hoping. Okay. And then we have adjustments are required, the quarter moon. So yeah, there could be something that you need to look at in your life and go, maybe I need to make a meal plan every week, just to be something that you feel more in control of, something in your own dimension, in your own life. Maybe there's something you're saying, you know what, I'm not going to look at my emails first thing in the morning. I'm going to wait until I've had my tea, my breakfast, and then I'm going to start. I'm not just going to roll over and open my phone and then look at my notifications, which I know a lot of us do. I'm just going to be in myself, being my moment, and then look at what the world's doing. So it could be that. It could be that simple. You know, that you need to just recalibrate time for you rather than being on call for everybody else this June. Try it out, see if it works, and let me know down below if this works for you, how June goes. Let me know which one you chose. Like, subscribe, share if you wish, or if you want a reading from me, all the information as to how to get ones down below. But in the meantime, my lovelies, blessed be, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Hello beautiful group 2s, welcome to this reading for you. So you would have chosen the rose quartz, which is a beautiful, beautiful crystal. It's basically all about self-love and healing. It's got a wonderful aura around it. This one isn't as strong as it used to be in colour wise. I think somebody left it on the shelf in the direct sunlight in summer, which you're not supposed to do. It might have been me, it might have been somebody else, I don't know. But yes, it's still got a wonderful, powerful aura about it. It's so warm, it's so inviting, so soothing, and if you chose that, good choice. Let's have a look and see what's coming through for you in June, my lovelies. Okay. I have a feeling that one of these cards wanted to come through. Now this is different than how I've done it with the other two, but this deck is different. Okay, so what we got? Okay, we got the Lovers and we got the Fool. Let's have a think. I need more information. There we go. So you have 3 high arcana, major arcana, should I say. The energy that I'm getting from this is quite a strong confidence thing. Let me just put that there so I can move these across for you. It's a confidence level, and it's having the confidence to, oh, weirdly enough, rose quartz, there we go. It's having the confidence to do something that's trusting your instinct. I trust my knowing and make a commitment. I'm guided and protected. I actively hold true to my values. I look back with compassion for myself. It's having the confidence to go forwards, to defend yourself, to stand your ground in pursuing whatever it is you want to pursue, and understanding that this is the way it's meant to be. Because here, this card, Judgment, it speaks of looking back at maybe past mistakes, maybe judging yourself too harshly, maybe still carrying some guilt over from something that you know, like a mistake you made in the past, something that you feel like you still have to atone for. You know, this is kind of your time now to renew yourself, to answer the inner calling, to stop judging yourself. It could also be that the judgment of yourself has kind of started to turn outwards and compare yourself to other people and compare yourself to what stage you're at against other people, or just turn your judgment on other people. I feel it's more the comparing and contrasting here. But honestly, it does feel like there's a lot of positivity and a knowing and a deep connection to yourself, and saying, you know what, I'm going to try and do this. I do feel that some of you have felt a little bit like doubt. There's a doubt coming through here for you, and wondering whether it has been worth it. Some of the sacrifices that you have maybe made. Yep. Okay, but it is kind of saying that there's something you can do. I mean, you will heal yourself. It says, ooh, sorry about that. You will heal yourself. And then it's, I am supported, never alone. And again, this kind of marries in with the I am guided and protected. I am supported, never alone. And it just feels like, yes, you are, because you have your spiritual team on your side. And here it's like, I will heal myself. I trust my knowing and make a commitment. Maybe it's because you feel like you messed up a past relationship, you messed up a past connection with somebody, or you didn't do this movement in the career as much as you wanted to do. It's kind of saying, stop this judgment of that past self, or stop the judgment of who you were in that relationship, of who you were like 5-10 years ago, even minutes ago. It's just something that feels like it's a constant change, it's a constant transmutation thing that's coming through here, because you create what you choose naturally and with joy. And this here is like, hold true to your values. You're creating something that you value. You're creating something that is unique to you, whether that be a relationship, an opportunity, a piece of artwork. You're doing something that is unique to your signature. Like, it's in your DNA, it's your DNA signature. And it doesn't mean that your past mistakes are like a stain on you. It doesn't mean that anything that you feel like you've messed up, like an opportunity, anything like that. It doesn't mean that you cannot, I don't want to say redeem, because it does mean like that you cannot rise above those expectations that you feel like you failed within yourself. There's something here that's allowing you to heal, asking you to look at healing. Let me just see. Yeah. Surrender. Surrender the feelings. Surrender the feelings of control. What you've built up may need to come down. I feel like this is barriers. The barriers that you've had to protect yourself, and the barriers, maybe the resistance that you've had against going into spirit because you don't want to know the answer. You know, you've maybe stopped connecting with spirit, or connecting with your higher self, or going with your instinct, or maybe even trusting your gut. You know, like, I commit to this because I feel it's right. Maybe you stopped doing that because of this barrier that you've built up, because of previous mistakes or disappointments that people have given you. It may not have even been your fault. It may have been somebody, just wrong person, wrong time, wrong opportunity, wrong timing. You know, it's just that feeling of, ugh, I've built up this wall, and now you have to kind of surrender. It's going to bring it down. It may be uncomfortable. It may be something that you don't really want to do. You know, I mean, surrendering to stress and stuff is always quite a bit annoying. At the bottom we have King of Pentacles. Oh, okay, so this is a message for you. I wondered why I was called to look at the bottom here. I am sure of my place in the world. Meaning, in short, that you have a place. You have a place in this world. You are meant to be part of this world here. I feel like the Five of Pentacles is fear of being left out in the cold. It is fear of worry. It is fear of being left to your own devices and sort of discarded. But you are supported here, and because it's under the Fool, it's like saying, if you want to start this new venture, if you want to try again, if you want to, you know, go that way that your heart and your soul has been asking you to try to go, there's absolutely no reason that you should feel alone, because you are guided. And even the Fool here says you are guided and protected on your life journey. You are supported. You're not alone. There's just something that you feel like you have your own back, and you must have your own back, you know. And if you do stumble, or if you have stumbled, or if there's been a few failures or rejections or knockbacks, now is the time, the perfect time in June, to kind of get over that. And I don't want to sound cavalier about it, but there is a perfect time to just kind of remove that, get rid of that sort of thing, because healing is going to come from within you, not from away from you. And this rose quartz is just exactly what I think you need. This is trusting your knowing, making commitment to healing yourself, making commitment to trying again, getting back out there, putting yourself in a center of creation, of thinking, of hope. And again, creating what comes naturally to you and with joy, and not feeling, again, this is kind of like a defensive thing sometimes, but I just feel like you actively holding true to your values is you staying true to yourself and saying, you know what, I'm actually glad that I made that decision. So some people said, why did you leave that person? Or why didn't you chase that person? Why didn't you badger your boss for a promotion? Maybe it just didn't feel right. And if it didn't feel right, you don't have to continue that path if it doesn't. And I think it's just kind of the release of, you know what, I'm just letting that go, and I'm going to try again, and I'm going to bring these barriers down and be more vulnerable with myself and know and trust myself again. That takes a lot of guts. So you're kind of unlearning here what you think that you have experienced. Like, experience is not necessarily knowledge that that's going to happen again. You know, oh, that's exactly, it's not proof that's how it's always going to go. It's just a case of, okay, this is the tool that I have now that I can inform my choices. It's not actual evidence that this is how it's always going to be. So let's have a look and see what is coming through for you in the moon cards here. Alrighty. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. And it is right now because it's 2 days before the Sagittarius eclipse. But I do feel that, again, you want to do a change, now's the perfect time to review that and start doing it in Mercury retrograde. Review things, see what it is, and then try to implement it towards the end of the month. I do feel this is rejuvenation. Let me just see if there's any more information that they want to bring. This tripod is very wobbly today. Oh, we have two again. So prosperity lies ahead. New moon in Taurus. So I do feel again that you do have some good times, some positive results coming through for you. It's just going to take some realignment and, you know, understanding where it is you are. And then it's time to release negativity. Here, the barriers. Forgive yourself, forgive others. Release the barriers that you have up against this result or this experience or this vulnerability that you have. Vulnerability doesn't automatically mean that you're going to get hurt. It means that it makes you human and accessible to other people who can relate to you, and it also unlocks this very special part of you. And what Scorpios do is they very, very rarely ask for help. They prefer to struggle and do it on their own because they don't want to feel weak or they don't want to look weak. But that's a negative. Asking for help is not a weakness, and I think this is kind of the negativity that's here, like being vulnerable, failing, having a rejection, doing something is not a failure on you. It's not a weakness on you. It's just a case of you need to release how you see yourself based on those past experiences. Know that you are not a failure. You are not going to be constantly rejected. You are not going to be pushed into oblivion here. You are supported as well. You need faith, you need to heal, and you need to understand that this is the best way you can go forwards. Whew. That was a big message, but I hope that it reaches the ears that it's meant to reach. Even if it was just mine, you know, it could be just mine. But let me know in the comments below if this works out for you. Please do like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing my content. And if you would like a reading from me, all the information is down below. But in the meantime, my lovelies, take care of yourselves, blessed be, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon.